Hey guys, I'm sorry about the lighting in here. It is really rainy out, so I had to make do with the lights in my room. So I am going to be doing another unhaul, and these are going to be books that I don't want anymore. So I'm going to be telling you why I'm going to give them away. So the first group of books that I'm going to be giving away are books that I've already read, but I don't feel like I would actually reread them, so I'm giving them away to create more space for my bookshelf. Forgive Me, Leonard Peacock by Matthew Quick. I actually want to give this away because I want to buy a finished copy. Really enjoyed this one. It was really great. The Debutante Divorcee and Bergdorf Blondes by Plum Skies. I didn't really enjoy these chick lit books. I felt that it was really too pretentious, so I'm giving them away. Secret by Lindsay Smith. I thought this was a really clever read, but it didn't really execute properly, so I'm gonna say I'm gonna pass on it. End Times by Anna Schumacher. I'm just giving this one away. No reason why, it's just for space, and I usually do give away all my ARCs because I don't like them cluttering up my bookcase. Claudine by Barbara Palmer. I already read and enjoyed this one. I just feel like I won't be rereading them anytime soon. And now books that I wanted to keep, but I didn't really have time to read them, so I'm just giving them away anyways. This is Mostly Good Girls by Layla Sales. I don't know much about it. I've had this on my bookcase forever. I got this from one of the publishers when I used to work at a magazine, and I just never got around to it, and it looks like it's a good contemporary though. I just don't have time for it. Sometimes It Happens by Lauren Barnhold. I actually read a bit of this. I took out my bookmark. It was in there. I just don't remember it, but I guess I never gone back to it. Vesper by Jeff Sanson. I bought this as a bargain book, but I just never got around to it, and I know there's another 2 more books, but I didn't want to bother reading a trilogy, so I'm giving it away. And in this category are duplicates, so I just giving them away because I already have them. So this is The Last Song by Eva Wiseman. Salem by Madeline Rowe. As you can see, it's a different cover. And now my biggest and largest pile. These are books I'm just not interested in. I heard like mixed things about them and I just don't have time to read them. Gabriel Finley and The Raven's Riddle by George Hagan. I haven't heard much about this one. It's middle grade obviously, but I don't know if I'd be interested in reading it. I don't have time. Demon Derby by Carrie Harris. I haven't heard anything about this and I'm not sure if I'd be interested in reading about it. The Boston Breakout by Roy McGregor. Thrones and Bones, Frostborn by Lou Anders, and I heard actually really good things about this. This is good. Average rating on Goodreads, but I decided if I really want to read it, I'll buy a finished copy instead of the ARC. Randy Rhodes Ninja Detective, The Case of the Time Capsule Bandit by Octavia Spencer. I know she's an actress, but I wasn't really interested in it, so I'm giving it away. Darkness Before Dawn by J.A. London. I haven't heard much about this one, but it's been sitting on my bookcase, and I haven't picked it up in over like 2 years, so I decided to just purge it. Covet by Melissa Darnell. This is a Harlequin teen book, and sometimes I have trouble with their romances, so I decided to just toss this one in the giveaway pile. Picture Me Gone by Meg Rosoff. I haven't heard much about this unless you're a really good like contemporary reader, but I'm not, so I decided to just give it. Born Weird by Andrew Kaufman. This is a really sad thing. I actually have this book signed, but the premise of it didn't really intrigue me. It is another contemporary. Touched by Fire by Irene Ann Watts. This is another book that I just didn't have time for. Julian, a novel by William Bell. I don't know, I just wasn't interested in this one. The Demimonde by Rod Rees. This is the first book, I believe, and I read a bit of it. This is an adult sci-fi dystopian read, but I just couldn't get into it. It was way too, I don't know, it was just too dense, so I'm just gonna let someone else enjoy it. And this is the sequel to Shadow Wars, same reason. Escape from Berlin by Irene and Watts. Now this is another one that I just don't have time for. It sounds really, really good though. I just wish I had more time. Starstruck by Rachel Schuchart. I read a bit of it and I just wasn't intrigued enough, so I hope someone else will like it. The Dollhouse Asylum by Mary Gray. I actually don't know what this is about. I picked this up from a trade, I believe, and I just never got to read it. Cross My Heart by Sasha Gold. I just didn't have time for this one, even though it sounds interesting. Why Men Lie by Lyndon McIntyre. I read this a bit, like the first chapter, but it never really interested me, so I just put it down. Spirit and Dust by Rosemary Clement Moore. This is a different cover than the finished copy. I believe this is like a murder thriller, or it says here She Can Talk to the Dead. So I was kind of freaked out that it has ghosts in it, which is why it's in my giveaway pile. Walking Home by Eric Walters. This one sounds so good and I wish I had more time to read it. Uncaged by John Sandford and Michael Cook. This looks like an adult spin-off kind of kids book. Like, it's kind of a weird cover. It looks adult, but it's not. I haven't heard much about it. Witch of Babylon by DJ McIntosh. I picked this up from work when I was at Penguin, and I just thought it would be really interesting, but it didn't really have the greatest reviews, so I'm just gonna toss this. Love You to Death. This is an official companion to The Vampire Diaries. I stopped watching The Vampire Diaries, so this isn't really that useful for me. King Dork Approximately by Frank Portman. This is another middle grade I just don't have time for. Zombie Elementary, The Real Story by Howard Whitehouse. This is another middle grade that looks really, really cute. I just don't have time for it. Project Cain by Jeffrey Girard. I heard nothing but horrible things about this one. I don't want to read a book that I'm not gonna like, so yeah, giveaway. So that's it for me this time around, you guys. Until next time, bye book nerds.